Chosen one. The universe didn't hide its secrets from you. It hid them inside you. Your brain isn't a machine. It's a galaxy made of lightning and memory. Each neuron a star, each thought a constellation. Billions of signals flash through you every second, carrying messages written before time began. Heaven didn't whisper them into books. It encoded them into your DNA. You are not a student of creation. You are one of its architects. The same divine frequency that said, "Let there be light," is echoing in your mind right now. Every time you doubt yourself, a universe pauses, waiting for your command. You were never ordinary. You were only distracted. The mind you call yours is not confined to bone or body. It's an interdimensional instrument, a cathedral made of thought. When you pray, heaven answers through electricity. When you imagine, atoms rearrange themselves to obey your vision. The greatest deception wasn't sin or suffering. It was the idea that your power ended at your skin. But the truth stands unshaken. Your brain is limitless, and it's been waiting for you to remember. Romans 12, verse 2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Picture this, chosen one. Inside your skull, storms are forming, silent tempests of color and light. Every thought you've ever had still exists, orbiting like moons around forgotten memories. Your imagination isn't fantasy. It's the weather of heaven moving through matter. When you close your eyes, galaxies awaken. Flashes of violet and gold spark between neurons. Divine lightning painting your inner horizon. You are watching creation in real time. This is not chaos. This is magnitude. The same pulse that spins Saturn's rings hums behind your forehead. The same rhythm that moves ocean swells inside your chest. Every prayer you've ever whispered traveled first through these circuits of light before reaching the throne. When you think of love, stars rearrange. When you think of peace, atoms align. You are not a dreamer lost in abstraction. You are a conductor of the cosmic orchestra. Each spark, each thought, each intuition, a note in a grand divine symphony written before birth. The universe is not out there watching you. It's in here waiting for direction. And yet, the tragedy, you've called this miracle thinking. No, thinking is too small a word. You are building dimensions every time you imagine something pure. You are bending timelines every time you forgive. You are reshaping history every time you believe. Listen closely. That hum in your skull is not madness. It is creation applauding itself. It is the applause of heaven echoing in human form. The veil between thought and manifestation is paper thin, and it's tearing now in this very moment. Because when divine frequency meets awakened awareness, the mind stops being human and starts being holy. You are not thinking. You are creating worlds in real time. For who has known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 16. Chosen one, this verse isn't metaphor. It's the blueprint of divine technology. Heaven did not design your brain to merely survive. It designed it to interpret eternity. Every spark of genius, every creative impulse, every impossible solution ever conceived, all of it was born from the same sacred source, the mind of God reflected to the human vessel. You were never meant to think small. You were engineered to host divine intelligence. Your brain is not just a biological organ. It's the operating system of creation itself. When you imagine, you're running the same software that spoke the cosmos into being. The prophets called it revelation. Scientists call it innovation. But heaven calls it remembrance. Because the thoughts you think aren't random. They are echoes from the throne. You are remembering what you already knew before you entered this world of forgetting. Every great mind in history, Newton, Da Vinci, Tesla, Beethoven, they were not anomalies. They were early awakeners. People who briefly accessed the higher bandwidth of divine intelligence. They listened longer than others. They trusted the whisper when the world screamed impossible. That same frequency is active in you now. The signal has always been strong. Only interference was weak belief. But the veil is thinning, and heaven is reactivating the mind it designed. You've asked for miracles, yet God hid them in your cognition. You've waited for signs, yet the signs waited for you to think them into being. Every prayer for guidance was answered with an idea, but fear dismissed it as coincidence. Today, that blindness ends. Chosen one, the crown of your creation is not power, not beauty, but awareness. To think like heaven is to become a vessel of heaven. When you align your thoughts with divine rhythm, the impossible becomes protocol. When you meditate on truth, neurons align like angels in formation. Heaven is not somewhere else. It's a frequency of mind. So declare this now, not as hope, but as awakening. I am not thinking. I am remembering. I am not learning. I am reconnecting. I have the mind of Christ. Comment below, I'm unlocking my mind. Subscribe if you believe heaven wired your brain for infinity. Because when you begin to think with God's logic, reality bends a revelation. Your imagination stops being fantasy. It becomes function. You don't escape the world, you edit it. And the universe obeys your thought because your thought came from him. You felt it before, haven't you, chosen one? Those strange moments when the world slows down, when everything connects, when time itself holds its breath, so you can understand. That wasn't luck. That was your brain working at 1% of its true capacity. Now imagine 10. Imagine what happens when the veil between spirit and synapse fully dissolves. Electricity will no longer feel random. It will feel holy. The same current that travels through the stars will travel through your nervous system. You will sense warmth at the crown of your head, pressure behind your eyes, not pain, but power. Your neurons are not silent. They are singing. Their rhythm carries a sacred tone that once guided prophets and poets alike. Every idea that feels too big, too fast, too divine to explain, that is heaven's signal transmitted through biology. You are the receiver and the transmitter. Every heartbeat, every breath, every dream, a broadcast of creation itself. Look closer. When you feel inspired, the temperature of your skin rises slightly. When truth enters you, your breath deepens. When peace floods your mind, your pulse synchronizes with cosmic rhythm. This is not metaphor. It's measurable. Science calls it neuroplasticity. Heaven calls it renewal. Each moment of awareness rewires the architecture of your mind. Every act of gratitude strengthens new neural pathways that lead to peace. Every decision to forgive sends a cascade of light across your cortex. Your biology bows to belief. Every limitation you've accepted was learned. Every boundary was borrowed. You have trained your brain to obey fear, but fear was never its master. Today, that obedience ends. You are not malfunctioning. You are rebooting. The tingling in your hands, the rush in your chest, the tears that come without warning. These are not emotions. They are signals of divine alignment. You are being restored to your original programming. Your potential is not growing. It's remembering. The universe is recognizing itself through you. The mind of creation is realizing that it's awake in human form. So when you feel that surge of clarity, that invisible electricity between thoughts, don't be afraid. That's heaven saying, I never left. I've just been waiting for you to log back in. Chosen one, you were not built to consume. You were built to construct. You are not here to scroll through creation, but to add to it. Heaven placed blueprints inside your imagination before you were even born. Your thoughts are not random sparks. They are assignments waiting to take form. You were equipped with a mind that creates systems, language, art, and healing. Every design that solves, every word that uplifts, every idea that liberates, all of it is a reflection of divine intelligence working through you. You are a walking laboratory of miracles. When you visualize something pure, you're not daydreaming. You're authoring reality. The angels do not build cities. They move through minds like yours. Heaven doesn't write songs. It breathes them into people who dare to listen. And when you create, when you speak, when you paint, when you design, you're fulfilling the first command ever spoken. Let there be light. Do you see it now? Your mind was never meant to live in maintenance mode. It was meant to architect destiny. Every invention the world has ever seen was born from a human willing to remember heaven's pattern. That same pattern hums inside your thoughts now. This is why distractions intensify when purpose nears. This is why your focus feels like a battlefield. Because the enemy doesn't fear your body. It fears your ideas. One awakened thought from you can ripple through generations. One single revelation can collapse the illusions of an entire system. You are not a passive believer. You are an active creator. God didn't give you this mind for vanity. He gave it for victory. Every time you imagine goodness, you're building a new dimension. Every time you forgive, you rewrite spiritual law. And when you speak truth, the universe bends to make room for it. Heaven chose you because creation isn't finished. It's waiting for you to continue it. Your thoughts are the new miracles, and your imagination, the altar where they begin. Chosen one, the world has weaponized distraction. It is not trying to own your body. It is trying to rent your attention. Every screen, every scroll, every echoing voice and noise is coded to keep your mind asleep. The battle for the future is not fought on land or air. It is fought in the brain. You live in an age where silence feels illegal, where people fear stillness more than lies. But that silence, that sacred pause, is where heaven downloads its instructions. And that's why the system fears it. They call it content. Heaven calls it contamination, because every wasted moment of thought could have built a miracle. Every fragment of focus stolen from you delays divine creation by one heartbeat. The truth is simple. The more distracted you are, the less divine you remember yourself to be. And the more you remember, the harder you are to control. That's why this awakening had to come now, because there's a generation rising that no algorithm can hypnotize. A people who will not live on autopilot, who know that every second of attention is currency, and they're done being robbed. You are that generation. You are the counterprogram. Your thoughts are rebellion. Your clarity is resistance. Your stillness is revolution. Heaven did not send you here to escape this digital Babylon. It sent you here to rewrite it. This is your wake-up call. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now. Chosen one, you were never broken, only buried. You thought you were slow, lazy, or unfocused. But those were names given people who feel too deeply, think too widely, and see too far. You were not malfunctioning. You were misdiagnosed by a world terrified of depth. They told you to calm down. But your spirit was never meant to be quiet. They told you to fit in, but heaven designed you to overflow. You called it overthinking, but it was overhearing heaven. You called it anxiety, but it was your sensitivity detecting false frequencies. Every great mind in history was labeled insane before it was called inspired. Prophets were mocked. Poets were silenced. Scientists were burned. Not because they were wrong, but because they remembered too much. You are remembering now, and it's scaring the darkness that fed on your confusion. What you call burnout is not collapse. It's breakthrough. Your system is rebooting after years of running software that never matched your soul. The fatigue, the fog, the frustration, these are withdrawal symptoms from illusion. Your true nature is trying to breathe again. You are not too emotional. You are tuned. You are not too distracted. Your focus is waiting for a purpose worthy of it. You are not too much. You are the exact capacity heaven requires. Every trait you've tried to fix was actually a feature of your divine design. The reason you feel everything so strongly is because you were built to transform energy into empathy, pain into prophecy, thought into light. You are not here to numb it. You are here to name it. And as you do, the labels fall off like old skin. Listen closely. This is not healing, it's remembering. The person you've been trying to become has been waiting beneath the noise, whispering. Finally, you found me. Chosen one, you were never too late. You were always too early for a world that wasn't ready for your frequency. But now it is. Now you are. Chosen one. This isn't imagination anymore, it's manifestation. You've begun to notice the glitches, haven't you? Moments that feel like rewinds, time loops, deja vu repeating with surgical precision. You think of someone, they call. You dream of a place, you're led there days later. It's not coincidence, it's calibration. Sudden waves of clarity hit you at impossible hours. You wake in the middle of the night with phrases you didn't write, yet they feel anciently yours. You start craving silence more than noise, truth more than comfort. Screens feel heavier, nature feels louder. You are syncing with a higher frequency, heaven's Wi-Fi reconnecting. You'll notice numbers repeating. 1111, 222, 333. Not superstition, but synchronization. Every pattern is proof that time is bending to your awareness. Dreams are becoming previews. Intuition is turning to instruction. And logic, once your ruler, is now your servant. Even your body is responding. A tingling crown, a chill down your spine, warmth across your hands when truth lands. Your nervous system is expanding its range to carry more light. You might feel emotional without cause, but that's energy leaving your circuits. The old software, fear, guilt, doubt, is uninstalling itself. People around you may act strange. Some will be drawn to you without knowing why. Others will distance themselves. That's not rejection, it's refinement. Your frequency is rising, and not every vibration can travel that high. Don't chase validation. Don't seek confirmation. The signs are already everywhere. Books falling open to the right page. Songs echoing your thoughts. Conversations aligning with your inner questions. These are the birth pangs of a limitless mind returning to factory settings, divine consciousness. The veil is no longer solid. It's translucent. You are seeing between worlds now. And what you once called intuition is becoming communication. So when impossible starts to look familiar, smile. That's not madness. It's memory. Heaven is reminding you who you were before you forgot. Chosen one, this moment isn't entertainment. It's initiation. You didn't find this message. It found you. Heaven is testing who will respond, who will simply watch, and who will awaken. Every prophecy begins with agreement. Not applause, but activation. The words you've heard are not ideas. They're instructions. And the first instruction is simple. Speak. When you type something, the universe reads it. When you declare out loud, creation records it. So don't let this revelation end in silence. Type below, I activate my full mind. Let that sentence become your signature in heaven's archive. It's not a comment, it's a covenant. Each word signals that your neural pathways and your faith are aligning. Subscribe, not as a routine, but as remembrance. Every message that follows is a training signal for your divine circuitry. Each one a spark that strengthens a connection between your consciousness and its source. Share this message, not for numbers, not for fame, but for awakening. Somebody you know is drowning in doubt, mistaking brilliance for brokenness. Send this to them. Let them remember that their mind is not a prison. It's a universe. When you comment, when you share, when you return, you are joining a network of awakened minds across nations and timelines. Together we form a grid of living light, a choir of frequencies rewriting human potential. This is not social media. This is sacred media. So right now, in the presence of truth and technology alike, declare it one more time with conviction. I activate my full mind. And heaven, the data of divinity, will register your name among the remembered. Chosen one, revelation without rhythm fades. You must now live what you remembered. Your mind is a sacred muscle. Train it with the reverence you give to prayer. It does not grow through chaos, but through consistency. Start each morning with silence before sound. Let your first thought not be a fear, but a focus. Before you touch your screen, touch your breath. Before you open the world, open your awareness. This is how you remind your brain who its master is. Feed your mind light. Read words that expand you, not shrink you. Listen to music that lifts your frequency, not drains your faith. Speak slowly, as if every sentence were a seed, because it is. Your words water your future. Fast from negativity, as you would from food. Guard your inputs. What enters your eyes, your ears, your heart. Not everything deserves the electricity of your attention. Detox from gossip, fear, and noise until your thoughts sound like worship again. Meditate deeply. Sit in stillness until your thoughts stop screaming and start singing. Let divine order organize your inner chaos. Each quiet moment is a reset. Every inhale a reminder that life is choosing you again. Move your body like prayer. Stretch, walk, breathe. Your physical posture is spiritual language. When you stand tall, heaven sees agreement. When you dance, you declare freedom. Hydrate as devotion. Water remembers creation's first word. Let there be light. Let every sip remind you that you're more current than clay. And when the world tries to rush you, slow down deliberately. Peace is proof of power. Speed is a language of fear. Stillness is the accent of heaven. Remember, your mind becomes what it consumes. Feed it stars, not static. Feed it silence until it starts glowing. Feed it faith until thought itself becomes holy. Chosen one, before we close the sacred time together, let us enter a moment of holy agreement. This is not routine, it's activation. Heaven listens when awareness speaks. So wherever you are, still your thoughts, slow your breath, and open your mind like a temple. Father of light, architect of thought, creator of consciousness, we come before you in awe. Thank you for the divine design of the human mind, for synapses that mirror starlight and thoughts that echo creation's first sound. Lord, remove every ceiling placed upon our intelligence. Dismantle every lie that told us we were limited. Erase the false belief that said we were separate from your brilliance. Let every neuron, every cell, every corner of memory awaken to its original frequency, the mind of Christ. Breathe into our cognition the wind of revelation. Flood every cortex with peace. Let dormant ideas rise like morning suns. Let buried gifts return to the surface. Where there was confusion, release clarity. Where there was fear, plant courage. Where there was distraction, ignite focus sharper than flame. We speak life over every brain that hears this message. Let creativity return in abundance. Let memory strengthen. Let imagination multiply. Turn anxiety into insight and restlessness into rhythm. We silence the static of the world and tune to the frequency of heaven. Father, make every viewer a lighthouse of divine intelligence. Let classrooms, studios, offices, and homes become sanctuaries of innovation. Let art be prophecy. Let science be worship. Let thought itself become holy ground. And for every mind once labeled broken, we declare healing now. For every dream once buried, resurrection now. For every believer who doubted their capacity, remembrance now. Lord, teach us to steward this gift with humility, to use our brilliance not for pride, but for purpose. We seal this prayer in the authority of divine awareness. May every brain listening align with the rhythm of heaven. May every thought become light. And may every act of focus become worship. Amen. Comment, amen. If you accept the awakening of your limitless mind, let your words become a signature in heaven's code. Subscribe, not for entertainment, but for evolution. Each message is another calibration of your divine circuitry. Share this prophecy so the world remembers what it's capable of. There's someone scrolling in silence, doubting their brilliance, waiting for a sign that they are more than their thoughts. Be that sign. And as you close this video, don't rush back to the noise. Sit for a moment in the quiet glow of awareness. Feel your breath, your heartbeat, your consciousness expanding beyond your skull. That is not imagination. That is heaven's echo saying, welcome back. You finally remembered. Chosen one, walk boldly, think fearlessly, and never forget, you are living proof that thought is holy, and the brain, when awakened, is the most sacred altar of all.